somewhere.
Cheers
we
to
have
that. Kids
we
drinking.
have like we just notice things start disappearing all the time, and I think the kids just start throwing things in the trash can. So
Oh, well, that's
not
the
good.
worst case scenario.
They could throw them
is it
anywhere
really?
else.
I feel like maybe one of these days they'll throw themselves in there, and that's like a win right there. If I'm not noticing a plate or a fork going in the trash can, I probably won't notice a kid.
With or without mops.
That'd be great. Get rid of that dog. Welcome back, everybody. This is Last Call. I did not go pee, so I'll probably have to go pee during this.
What are you drinking? That's what I want to know.
I thought it looked like water.
It's a Luke Combs Miller Lite, tall boy.
Who's Luke
That's
Combs?
fancy.
I have no fucking clue.
It looks like that water that tries to be
Liquid
cool
death.
like beer.
Liquid death.
Yeah, it looks like that.
I saw those things, and like I'm not really like into like the crazy like energy drink type crap. I just assumed that it was like caffeine and alcohol, and I found out it was just water. I was like, oh, it's like water. That's worse than the other thing I didn't want to drink.
Well, and the style is like print T-shirts from like the early 2000s. You know, like if you went to
what was it called? What was that Von Dutch or Von Douche?
Yes,
stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
That we should bring that back now that it's past its prime. We should bring back as for State of Atlanta stuff. Get some Van Dutch, Van Douche, State of Atlanta stuff.
I will buy Van Douche just because that's funny.
But it was
we had a big long agenda, and you teased a bunch of it, and I promptly forgot every single thing.
There's a lot of good shit for him to go over. I can't.
All
wait.
right, so I mean, they're just like quick hits. They're like little hot shots or whatever.
Okay, got
so some dude on Athlon, whatever that is, it Athlon Sports.
Sure.
He did his like bold predictions for conference realignment, and I don't really think any of these were bold at all. Like he has like Notre Dame doesn't join a conference. Well, they never have before, so that's not fucking bold.
No, and one of them was like Clemson and Florida State leave the ACC. I'm like,
we already know that.
Literally suing to do that.
That was a really good. So Florida, before you go, David, Florida State tweeted like support of the new teams joining the ACC, and then one of the teams was like, "Wait, aren't you suing us? Like the conference?"
Yeah, fuck you guys. Yeah. No, so the thing about the Sun Belt, which would affect us, was the bold prediction was that Western Kentucky and Middle Tennessee State get invited back to the Sun Belt, which out of everybody that's out there right now, as far as like realistic options, it makes sense, and I've got no problem with it.
I want to stay in the East though.
So we say that's the only reason why I even put this on the agenda to talk about was because I thought it was so amusing. They want to put this guy from Athlon wants to put Middle Tennessee in the West and Western Kentucky in the East. So that means if you leave Atlanta to go to the game in Bowling Green, Kentucky, you have to pass a West Division team, Middle Tennessee State, to go up north to Western Kentucky. And
all I gotta say is my dad and stepmom would be so pissed off at me because it would be the first time I visited them in like a year and a half
just to go to the game.
Just to go to the game.
Nice.
Well, so but if we did that though, if we added 2 more teams to the conference, and you assume you play every team in your division, if we retained divisions, does that mean we only have like 1 cross divisional game every year? And
yeah,
it would take 8 years to play everybody in the other
or you
division.
go to 3 out of conference.
Or go 3 out of conference.
Yeah.
Do you think that some belt's in position to actually start dropping out of conference games?
Yeah.
Like you want to see Monroe that often that you want to drop a. Who do we have?
We still wouldn't see Monroe very often, right. As long as they didn't move us to the West, which would be terrible.
I mean, they would keep us in the East.
Right?
Yeah.
Have you seen?
I support no additions that move us to the West. I support no additions that move us to the West.
I don't like. Oh, you've not seen any.
No, I support. I've not seen any, but I do not support. Like
no,
they start talking about like adding ECU and like I don't know if they. I can't think of one. Like, ECU and Charlotte. And like, well, if you add ECU and Charlotte, that puts Georgia State in the West.
No, I
Yeah.
put TDS is in the West in that scenario because South and West are basically the same direction.
If they try to push us to the West, we should get our AD to say no.
Is that Cobb or McGee?
I don't know. One of them.
Well, there's
Or,
only one of them
hey,
that's gonna say no.
Or be like, hey, fuck y'all, we're leaving.
I mean,
We're
it
done.
already sucks bad enough to be the
I would hate
most
to be in the
Western
West.
team. The West would be the worst, but it sucks already to be the most Western team in the East and not playing the school that is geographically closest to you out of the entire conference every single year.
Is that Troy State?
And not Troy State, yeah.
Yeah.
And now you want to put us in the West, where we're the most Eastern school, and yeah, we'll get to play Troy State every year. But we also have, San Marcos and Jonesboro, Arkansas, and
Lafayette.
both of the fucking Louisiana schools and shit.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It just would suck.
Yeah, I mean, there's pluses and minuses for sure. There's definitely pluses and minuses in staying in the East too. But like, the East is definitely superior.
The East is solid.
Yeah,
like,
especially if they
teams.
add somebody like ECU, that would be pretty rad. But Middle Tennessee and Western Kentucky, which is what the bold prediction is, I think it's pretty realistic. And when we first came to the Sun Belt, those were two teams that I was excited about playing year in and year out.
Yeah, I agree. Well, yeah, because like in Middle Tennessee, it's the same logic, Ryan, that you have about playing Trash Down South, about going to the game. Go to Nashville for the weekend, pop over for the game on Saturday, head back to Nashville for Saturday night, and then come home on Sunday or Monday or something like that.
I would probably still have to go to Bowling Green. So if I'm going all the way to Murfreesboro, I can't just like not go see my parents.
All right, here's what you do, Ryan.
I mean,
you go to Bowling Green, you drop off the kid, and then you go back to your hotel in Nashville,
and
we
party
up there. We get up in the morning. We go to the game in Murfreesboro. We go back to Nashville, and then your parents bring Iz down to Nashville to head home.
This is a great plan. I'm in.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll put the plan together. I'll let your parents or your father know and everything, and we'll get it all taken care of. All right.
Cool. Sounds good.
I mean, I'm not dogging the West Division. It sucks. Like,
I mean, so
if
I
sex
don't
sells,
wanna
the East is sex. The West is like leftovers. I mean, other than Southern Miss, they got the sex. They sell the sacks at Southern Miss.
Yeah, the chance that you may see Brett Favre at a game if you go out there.
Maybe.
Does
I
he go
don't
to
wanna be in this
games?
He probably does.
He like
throws
call-
money
he-
to their bleachers or something. I don't know.
he calls some kind of like NCAA violation with the volleyball program. But no,
I don't even know about that.
we talked about it like 2 years
We
or 3
did.
years ago, whatever it was. But I don't like being in this conference to begin with. But if we're going to be in this conference, we need to be in and there's going to be divisions. We need to be in the East Division.
Yeah, I mean, just you get on the list like James Madison, super notable team.
Fuck
App
'em.
State, definitely
Fuck 'em.
notable team. I know. Coastal Carolina, love to hate them, but they got the mullets. They got the mullets. They got their moments of fame, and it kind of lasted too long. Old Dominion, I don't know, whatever. Us, Trash Down South, Marshall. That's like that whole conference, top to bottom, is sex. Then you got ULM, Louisiana, Arkansas
Mobile State University,
South Alabama. I mean, none of it sounds as good. It just doesn't. They know it too.
We talk about how being in the Sun Belt is like, one of the reasons why people don't come to games is because you're playing teams that no one's ever heard of before. Like, no one's heard of East Division teams. Nobody has fucking heard of West Division teams. Like, there's just no one's heard of them. Like, they all sound like FCS teams. Every single one of them sounds like an FCS team.
There is a good argument to be made that there is no more East-West division, and you do like a pod system, or you do you just don't do anything. You just say everyone plays everybody in some rotation, and that's fine. But pods would make a lot of sense, like us and Georgia Southern and Troy State all lumped together, and then we rotate out somehow.
Probably Mobile, but no, I think I don't know, Ryan, if you know this or not, because I know you've started paying less attention to stuff outside of Georgia State. The Sun Belt is the only conference with divisions now.
I know.
Oh yeah. I think I did see that.
We're holding on for dear life.
And but I think the reason why is because the reason why we got the teams we got from USA and promoting Jimmy Madison was because I think it's the Old Dominion and Marshall guys, those ADs or presidents have been talking about trying to create a new East Division football conference. And so by having basically the Sun Belt East is their East Division. That's what they wanted to have. So I don't see the
so it's
ADs
less
or presidents,
likely is what you're saying to do like a pod system because
I think
of
it's
that?
very I like the idea, but I think it's less likely to happen.
What's
because that's the
But,
reason why
if they just went and fucked themselves, then that could be another option.
What's the buyout?
Or we get out of this conference and don't fucking worry about it.
What's the buyout for the teams in the Sun Belt to get out of the conference? Is it much? Like, could the whole entire East just revolt and say, "Fuck it, we're done"? Oh, and we're gonna pick up Troy and South Alabama, and that's our conference.
So,
Troy State.
State,
good one.
I think I think the issue, because I see that happen when people talk about adding 2 more teams to get to 16. I'm like, well, so what you're going to do is you're going to have the conference split into 2 8-team divisions. If that happens, the East Division is going to become its own conference, and then West will be left to pick up their remains and everything. But I think the issue with that, and I could be wrong about it, is you lose those by creating a new conference. You lose those NCAA qualifiers for the tournaments, because right now the Sun Belt has the NCAA qualifier for all postseason play. They get at least 1 team in. The conference champion gets into it. If you create a new conference, you create the
it's unbalanced
East Coast kick-ass conference. No, it's not that it's unbalanced. It's just that conference is not guaranteed an NCAA qualifier in volleyball and soccer and baseball and basketball and all other shit. So basketball, I guess basketball's a real kicker. No one gives a shit about all those fucking sports, but yeah, basketball is the one that you lose that NCAA tournament bid automatically by winning your conference.
I don't like
that's
that.
a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money
thrown away. Yeah,
a lot of money. Yeah. But I mean, I think it's BS. I think that's something you negotiate with the NCAA ahead of time. Like, hey, this is what we want to do.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. If they do something like that, they can figure it out.
I wouldn't be opposed to it if Troy
State
came along. I don't want to be any part of this conference, but if Troy State came along, I'd be okay with it.
They're cool. So Troy State, and I give them a lot of shit because of the who and all that stuff, but like they're the most like SEC feeling. And I know it's like a little silly to talk about SBC as SEC, but they're like the most SEC feeling team in the conference. Like they kind of have their shit together.
They do.
It feels like they're very professional, and like I don't know. Like I just, if they want to come along with us to anything, it seems like that'd be fine.
Yeah. With the exception of Jimmy Madison and
Coastal.
Not even Coastal. Jimmy Madison and most of the West teams, like I guess really just Texas, with the exception of Jimmy Madison and Texas State, I think. I mean, I think the Sun Belt is SEC minor league. I mean, they fit the profile. Look at every one of them are in a small college town. It's the only fucking thing to do in that town.
Wait, you're saying we don't fit?
We don't fit. We don't. Oh yeah, we don't.
You're saying they seem like SEC light.
They all do.
I think Troy is like Troy State. Oh, I did it. I think Troy State's one of the only ones that does feel like SEC light.
It does.
No, I mean, I think Lafayette does for sure. I think Appy and Marshall do for sure.
Something
Trash
else.
Down South.
At times, Trash Down South. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, they fit the profile. Like
nobody runs a triple option.
If you did not have Trash Down South and Statesboro, you wouldn't have a Statesboro. Like there'd be nothing there, right?
Being another armpit.
I mean, if you didn't have a Marshall, you wouldn't really have a Hattiesburg. I got that right, didn't I? That's where they are.
No,
if you didn't have an App State, Boone would be nothing more than just a tourist trap for people that ski on fake snow, right?
And leaf watchers, right?
Yeah. Like there's nothing about these Jimmy Madison, I guess Old Dominion, I guess Norfolk is actually Jimmy Madison, Norfolk, Texas State, and us don't fit the mold.
No.
of SEC
I guess I don't see SEC
SEC
as necessarily just like towns that wouldn't be anything without the school. I don't know. There's
I mean, yeah, Texas and Austin now.
With the obsession, like the fan
story.
bases. I was talking to somebody on the Sunbelt message board about having games on ESPN Plus and like how just difficult because of bars and stuff. And the guy's like, I don't see, like, when I ran my bar, I would put everything up on the projector and crap. I'm like, yeah, we're in Atlanta and
ain't happening.
Nope, no one gives a shit. Like everything is Georgia or all the other SEC games or just the other national games. Like you can't find a bar in Atlanta that's just gonna like let you take it. Well, we found Manny's. Thank you, Manny's, very much for letting us watch games there.
No, they didn't let us do anything of the kind. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, they did not violate any.
There were no rules violated.
ESPN streaming rules. No, we're good. We
tried, and they were like, no, and that's not a lie.
You can just listen to the radio.
We all go there and we watch it on our phone. We get one iPad out there, iPad Mini, and we just watch it streaming on ESPN Plus. But yeah. Oh,
what else we got? What other quick hitters we have?
So that Blake Anderson coach at Utah State, who we beat in the bowl game, we just like gobsmacked in Utah State.
Gone?
Yeah, he's gone now. Like what is it? 6-7 weeks until football starts, and their head coach is gone.
Did he quit?
I think he got fired for some naughty business with some lady folks, which is weird because isn't that the guy that was at Arkansas State whose like wife died of cancer and they had like the cancer game for him and stuff? Ooh, and now he's like diddling some cheerleaders or something out. He's fucking around doing. I mean, you're getting paid millions of dollars a year, and yeah, whatever. Not that I would do that.
That's my thing. Is it like worth it? No, probably not. Jesus, that's dumb stuff.
I don't know if that's what it was. It may have been worse. Like, it may have been worse. It may have been like sexual assault or something. I don't know what it is. But either way, he's gone. And probably Utah, that state, is like probably the number one state of not giving you any leeway on any kind of.
That's probably true.
Yeah, I was like, you're in the one wrong place to get trouble with that.
He told an assistant, that skirt's cute on you. Fucking, you're out of here.
You're done. Get out. You want to have a drink?
Impure thoughts.
Done. We don't do drinking around here. I don't know why they asked for Southern.
Do they drink? How do they drink? They have to
He asked for a double at a bar. He's like, hey, can you make that a double? Like, you're fucking out of the state, man. We're not letting
fired. Donald Trump drink out of the door. You're fired.
You're fired.
They have the most I'll put it this way. Tim, you know my friend Terry, Ryan. You know Terry, obviously. Yeah. She was tasked.
Went there.
She had to go there. She works for a company that manages bars and airports, and I guess Salt Lake City Airport was going through a massive renovation. This was like 10, 12 years ago or something, and so she went out there to open up like several bars and restaurants, and like the Chick-fil-A's and the Wendy's and like all of the restaurants are there, whatever. She was out there for 1 week. I think it was a 6-week project. After 1 week, she's like, "Fuck that place. I'm not going back." Like they won't like all the like the drinks or whatever are like weak as hell, and you're paying like so much for them. She's like, "No, like I have no problem with the work, but when I get off work, I want to have a drink, and I can't fucking do it."
They were airport though, because airport drinks are rough already.
No. This was when she went to the bars outside of the airport afterwards.
Oh, okay.
But installing everything in the airport bars, they had all like the guns and stuff that like limited like 0.7 ounce for cocktails and crap. It was just So she wasn't having it.
Sounds like a terrible time. She must have been in hell.
I went when I went to Salt Lake City. I spent a little time and went to I went to a brewery like downtown. Beer was pretty good. I was not upset about it, but they do require you to like you have to buy food with alcohol, which is fine. I mean, like I was there to eat anyway, but like you can't just go to a bar and drink. You have to eat too.
Well, Did you actually have to eat it, or just have to pay for it?
You just have to order it. Yeah, I mean it's like here. Like you can't technically order a pitcher for yourself, but like you can.
Yeah, it's whenever I go to a bar and I order a pitcher, how many? And I'm sitting by myself. Like how many glasses? I'm like 2. Yeah, that glass just sits there.
Because if you order one, they can't give it to you.
There was a great menu I saw. I don't know where the state was, but there was some state where they had passed some new law that required any place that sold hot dogs or sold alcohol, you had to serve food.
Yeah.
No one had to eat it, but you had to serve it. No one had to buy it, but you had to serve it. And so they had
have it available.
Have it available. And so they had like a $100 hot dog on the menu. And they said, there's nothing special about this. It is a store brand hot dog that we do not cook in a bun. And that's it.
If you buy this, you're having a cold hot dog.
This is adhering to the law of the state. We are providing food, but it's a cold hot dog in a crusty bun with no condiments, and it's $100.
That is awesome. Where is this?
I can't remember. This is years ago that I heard about this. It may have been bullshit. I think it was true.
I mean, there's weird rules in Georgia around having to serve food to be able to do a certain thing, and it's dumb. It's like it's such micromanagey stuff, and we're
Ryan. This is whatever
clubs that can stay open all night.
Whatever political office you decide to run for next in Georgia, and I don't care what the actual job of the position is. I want your platform to be that you will work tirelessly to get rid of the dumb happy hour laws in Georgia.
Yeah. Oh my God. So, man, I went to DC. What are they? DC, everything is like there's great food. It's very expensive though. That's the problem.
It's super expensive.
But one of the coolest things about DC is they have happy hours everywhere from like 4 to 6. I think it's happy hour, and they have like drink specials and food specials, and like that's when you go eat. That's the time to go out and like enjoy yourself. Because every other time it's like double the price. But man, happy hours are just amazing. And I'm not trying to just get blitzed in 2 hours. Like I mean, any more than I already was. Right. You know, like even if it's expensive, I'm like, oh well, I got time, whatever.
All right, so educate me. What are our laws here?
You cannot have timed drink specials in Georgia.
Well, yeah, if you charge a price for a drink in Georgia, it must be that price all day. Yeah. The only way I've seen people get around it is they'll say, "Oh, this keg of Yuengling showed up here at 4:00. We will only charge $2 a pint for it. Oh, look, it's 6:00. That keg tapped." They cannot have sold Yuengling before 4:00, and they can't sell Yuengling after 6:00. But yeah, once you charge it, so like when what is the place called?
Who made up this bullshit?
Park Tavern at Piedmont Park. So they have this deal. When it rains, we pour. And they do $1 pints on days that it rains. Basically, they just look at the weather forecast and they say, "Is it raining today? Is it supposed to rain today?" And if there's a chance of rain, they'll just drop their prices to $1, but they won't tell anybody. Once the rain starts hitting, they'll post it on their social media, like, "Oh yeah, they may have stopped doing this, but they used to do that all the time. When it rains, it pours."
What you cannot have time drink specials. All right, Ryan, what moron made this rule up?
So the idea is that if you are going to overdrink, you're going to do it during that hour. So like if it's a happy hour, you're just like, oh, let me get as much of this drink special in as I can in those 2 hours, and that people will just get wasted and drive home and drive drunk. That's what they say. But it happens all over the place, and I haven't gone and looked at the stats, but I'm pretty sure stats for drunk driving and all that are not up.
Right.
I will say though that the first time I ever experienced happy hour beer specials when I went to Blacksburg to visit my buddy, went to Virginia Tech, and we got there at the last minute. There was like 5 minutes of happy hour left, and they had like 32-ounce draft beer for like
I'll take
$4 or something like that. So we both got one, but they won't serve you another one. Like you can't buy 2 at a time. They won't serve that until he literally with 5 minutes to go left, he just like downs a 32-ounce beer and he's like, "I'll take another one." So
now
he's
the exception though. I
mean, people will do that, but think about it from a legit happy hour thing. You're back when people worked in the offices. You're at your office. You had a rough day or you had a good day, whatever it was. Like, hey, you want to go down to the bar for a drink? Yeah. And like, oh, cool. Beer is $2 a tall boy or something like that, or $2 a pint. You have a couple, and then 6:00 hits. You're like, all right, cool. Well, beer is expensive now, so I got to get home to the wife and the kids and bullshit. That was my time to come down. Yeah. They would have never gone down to there to begin with. Now, some nights they do that. Maybe they order food and they stick around longer. They get other shit. A game's on. Something's cool. But for the most part, it's just go down there and have a drink and go home.
It's most I mean, it's blue laws, right? And so they don't want us to be drinking at all. And so anything that encourages drinking, they're also going to pass laws against. And that, I mean, that's just really what it is they don't.
Well, I'll let you know, you can make me sober in public, but you will not make me sober at home. I'm still getting fucked up.
See, it doesn't work on David.
No, the blue law people are okay with that. As long as you hide it, you're okay.
That's what that was so funny back before they allowed package sales on Sundays. Like, so what you're telling me is I can't go to the grocery store, buy a 12-pack of beer, go home and watch the Falcons blow a fucking lead, but I can go to a bar and drink all day long and drive home that night. Like, I know you're not allowed to drive home that night, but still take my chances driving home that night. Whereas if you just let me go to the bar, go to the package store, grocery store, or whatever, and pick up whatever I want to do and just sit home, it'd be way easier. Yeah. They got rid of that.
So that was really hard to get used to moving from Florida here, like the whole Sunday thing. I'm like, what?
Weird.
What now the only states with absolute bans on Sunday sales are up north, and so I just love like Southerners going like, "What's wrong with the Northerners, man? They don't fucking have issues with alcohol."
It's so the Midwest,
they're like slow or something.
Southerners, they like they like. I think when I was in Indiana, I think it was when I said, "What kind of food do you guys have that like you think is like your food?" And they were like, "Oh, fried chicken." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up! Like, what are you talking about? Like, what?" So I just ignored them and ate whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
But like they are very much like behind the times, even, and like emulate the South. It's weird. Like Ohio, Indiana,
Wisconsin. When I visited my friends in Wisconsin, oh my God, I have never witnessed more redneck behavior.
Rednecks are everywhere. That's rural.
I was born in Tennessee. My mother is from Arkansas. My father is from Mississippi. I grew up in Georgia. I have never witnessed more redneck behavior than I did when I was in Wisconsin. I mean, like, these are just like country boy will survive type guys, like wearing their overalls, ice fishing. And man, it was just like, I don't know, grease monkeys. Knew how to fix everything, knew how to build everything. Just it was like the panhandle of Florida, just redneck as they come, men of the earth. But they had no idea what hush puppies were. They had no idea what a hush puppy was.
No,
which I thought was funny. With all the fish they eat,
but you didn't know what corn is.
Yeah. I know what fucking cheese is. All their fucking squeaky cheese curds. Cheese curds.
Those are actually pretty fucking good.
Cheese curds are amazing.
Those are
fried cheese curds. Fried cheese curds.
That was a highlight of going to the Wisconsin game for sure. Like the fucking cheese everywhere, and beer.
Oh man, they pride themselves in their cheese, man.
I mean, poutine too.
Poutine
was there as well, yeah. But definitely the cheese and the beer was good.
Wisconsin's fun. I've only been there twice, and both times have been A+, 2 thumbs up.
Time. Yeah, Milwaukee was cool. We flew in there, and then we went over to Madison, and it was a good
few
time.
days early, David.
Good time, yeah.
What was that, Ryan?
A few days early with the fireworks.
Yeah, fireworks. Yeah. What are you guys doing? I know what Tim's doing for the 4th. He and I are doing a pub crawl down Peachtree in the first thing in the morning.
Oh. No,
says
I'll be sleeping in.
Nothing says for 4th of July than beers at 7 a.m.
I don't have plans yet, but I'll figure something out. I'm sure. I got racks of ribs were on sale. I picked up some of those for like $8 a piece. So.
Sounds like that's what you're doing.
That's only a couple hours.
Is it nice being able to cook pork for the family?
Oh my God, yeah. And Lizzie like loves it. Well, loved it until so she asked me not to season like a part for her. So I just left them naked and smoked them. And she's like, I don't like them now. And I'm like, I tried to tell you. It was it was like her favorite food when I made it the first time. And she was like, well, I just like picked out all the seasoning and stuff. And I'm like,
that is right. What's good about it.
You sound just like her when you said that. You sounded just like her.
Oh, yeah,
I pick all the seasoning and stuff.
That's how she sounds.
No, yeah. Out of
my 8-year-old child, my 8-year-old
kids, my kids love scrambled eggs, and all of a sudden one day, putting putting pepper in them was too much. So now I can't put any pepper in the eggs, and like I don't even taste pepper. I just like seeing the little black specks in there. It just makes me feel like it's what eggs are supposed to look like. Yeah. So now I can't put pepper in the eggs because it's too spicy.
Oh boy.
Like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, we're just entering an era with these children.
Kids are the worst, man.
And the best all at once. It's weird.
Oh, I never thought that I could love someone or something so much that I would want to spend so little time with.
I cannot concur, but it's funny.
I think with that we can sign off for the night.
Two last topics.
Ooh, two more? This is like a double episode.
I gotta pee.
Ryan, you're gonna love this one. You're gonna love this one. NCAA will no longer screen for pot during postseason or championship games.
Why then? That's my first question. What the fuck? What's the point of that?
Hey, you made it through the season. You get to
get high.
I'm really wondering if this is a way to keep people into bowl games that like so they don't like just like opt out of bowl games. I can go on a vacation and get fucking high. I can whatever.
Your swag bag comes filled with weed.
Do you think everybody's just it's gonna be like become the pot bowl games where guys like they're starting introducing guys and they come out and they're just kind of like glazed over, red eye, pink eye shit. Okay, whatever, man. Let's go. Happy to be here.
I don't think that's going to happen because I think coaches will have a problem with that.
The coach is going to be high as fuck too.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to be on the field.
Maybe as a treat when you finish the game, you can.
It feels a little weird that you wouldn't allow it all season long.
No, we need to have like the pot dispensaries to start sponsoring a bowl game, like the 1-800 Get High Bowl.
I mean, I always thought it was funny. The NFL is like, we're only going to drug test you in like February, and it's going to be like mid-February. So like, really, just make sure you're cleaned up by then. And like, people
guys still failed it.
And you're just like, man, they told you when they were going to drug test you. Just take a month off. Holy shit!
I could be wrong, but I think in the NFL you can turn down your first test. You can like say, "Oh no, I'm not going to do that one." And like, all right, well, the next one you have to. Like, so
why test if you're gonna make it? I mean, I guess you're just weeding out stupid at that point.
Yeah,
you're like, man, you are too dumb to like be here because like all you have to do is like we're gonna tell you in time for you to clean your system when you're gonna do it, and like all you have to do is pass that test.
And you still can't.
And you still can't, then dude,
you're out.
Millions of dollars.
And that should actually be that should be a team thing, not a NFL thing. Because a team thing should be like, all right, here we're going to give you very strict rules. If you cannot adhere to these rules, you probably can't adhere to other rules, and that's a test of your character. But like, so the teams are doing it because like I don't want. Yeah. The other one was
this whole you can do it in the postseason, but you can't do it during the season. That's strange.
The NCAA state why this change is coming.
I didn't do a lot of research on it, Tim.
Sponsors.
Well, no. So the article I did read about it said that they had like a basketball. It was basketball mostly. Players had tested positive and for the NCAA tournament. Yeah. And then they were suspended for the entire following season. So guys were just entering the draft and like going in the draft. And like,
yeah, it makes sense. Oh, so they're not just going to be like, oh, you can just do it. They're going to be like, oh, you can only do it now.
Yeah, I guess so. It's dumb. I agree, Sam. The other thing
people are just so dumb on pot. Like it's such a whatever thing. Like, I don't know. I have a gummy a night. I just between now and between the regular and last call, I took my gummy and like I'm gonna feel pretty good later, and it's not gonna affect my life very much at all, except for I'm gonna feel good.
Ryan's gonna be landing pretty soon.
It's fine. Sometimes I take it before the show, and
we know. We are well aware of that, Ryan.
Oh, come on! It was only one time that I got high during an episode where I was like a mess.
No, Tim and I definitely have our direct messages to each other. Like it's one of those nights. Yep.
Well, if we go much longer, it's gonna be.
We're getting close, probably.
All right, last thing. This is dumb. All those coaches that got hired can now be on the sidelines and be at practices, and there's no limitation on coaches. So
awesome. We should have fans on the sidelines, coaches, analysts.
Oh, they should make us coaches. Can they make us coaches?
Yes, we should be coaches.
Did we talk about this last week?
Ooh, I want to drink though.
But no, it passed. It was voted on.
Oh, okay. Because we were all just sort of like whatever, right?
Yeah,
like,
who cares?
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, right. I think literally the next day.
There's diminishing returns, right? I mean, like you can't just put like 1,000 people on the sidelines and all of a sudden you're 1,000 times better. That doesn't make sense.
Right. I know it was like literally like Ryan. It was one of those things where I'm like, all right, cool. I got the episode posted. What's going on in the news today? Oh, they passed that fucking thing we talked about last night. Awesome. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's going to be any difference in game day. No, stop it. Stop your stupid Apple bullshit.
Fireworks.
America.
Fuck yeah.
Anyone listening, David is just doing his fireworks.
David stuck 2 thumbs up his butt and their fireworks happened.
Somebody on one of my work calls today did something like with their, maybe it was like fingers. Were there
Spirit
balloons?
Fingers?
They're balloons?
There were balloons. I don't remember what she did. Something happened and balloons happened. And I was like, oh God, I don't know.
Don't teach David whatever this is.
I need to look up what all the different Apple little things are that they do with their animations, emoji things.
Do you though?
Yeah, I'll forget about it tomorrow. So
yeah, we're fine.
All right, I think we've done enough damage here tonight. It was actually pretty fun though. It was a good time.
Yeah. I know. I think both the episodes were pretty good.
I think we had a good time. We had a very good time tonight for not having bullshit to talk about on a
July 2nd. It's just like us just being like, oh.
Those idiots thought they were good.
Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye.